Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show here on ABC in St. Louis. We are excited. We get to talk to a lot of leaders, and many people are very familiar with McGuire Moving. You guys have been around since 1935. Yes. Everyone, please welcome Josh McGuire to the studio, owner, and been running things for quite a while now.
Thanks for having me.
So, what's it like owning a moving company? Talk about, if you want to get things done, you got to get things moved. I mean, I've seen.
I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead, I guess. It's fun. It's what I chose to do. I enjoy it. We get a lot of opportunities to make a lot of people happy, so it's fun.
Okay. Well, I tell you, when you talk to the space that we focus on, and we tend to spend a lot of our time talking about real estate, housing, the family. Moving is an essential component to that because you've got to get from one place to another, and you got to bring all your materials, and it's all got to be done safely and without breaking anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for somebody with the expertise you've got, it's a vital role. Talk a little bit about why did you decide to get into this? I guess for you, it's kind of a foregone conclusion. You knew that this is the path you might have to go. Given the name.
Yeah, sort of. So I'm the fourth generation in the family business. I grew up doing the job. It's the only place I've ever worked at, and so as a kid I didn't really have a choice. Summers and weekends at the warehouse and on the moving truck. But I was going to college. I had a plan to be a doctor. I liked school, but I was working still full time, and I just decided that if I wanted to see this family business carry on and keep the name going, I'm very proud of it. I always enjoyed the work and what we do, that I would have to I'd have to go all in on it. It's not the kind of business you can run from the sidelines. You sort of got to be in it. So I made the decision to stick with it.
So versus being a doctor, you said, hey man, we got something much more important here. I get it, man. Hey, and when you run a business, you get a lot more autonomy. You get to impact more people. You get a lot. When you're a doctor, you have a couple people that work for you. But when you've got a moving company, you got a lot of people moving around there.
I would think the hours are probably similar. I guess I didn't want to make any money. So,
well, kudos to you for starting or maintaining, keeping a business. Like I said, since 1935, you guys have really done a great job. And like I said, when I heard that Dawn had reached out to you, I'm like, McGuire Moving, they're famous around St. Louis. They've been doing this for a long time. We'll talk about that a little bit. What was the path? I mean, you kind of covered a little bit of it there. But as far as the historical for the family, do you know where the family started this? Decided, hey, we're going to do this, and we want to make it something where we establish a new emerging industry. I mean, it used to be back before the highways. It took days to move stuff. Now we've got stuff down. You can get somebody across the country in a few hours. Is that true?
Yeah.
How's that work now?
We do quick trips to California, Seattle in a few days, as quick as we can get there legally. So our story is not unusual in the moving business. A lot of movers started out delivering coal and ice in the 30s or even earlier. My great grandpa, his family, they delivered coal and ice, and when those were phasing out of use, they had trucks and a lot of kids to feed, mouths to feed. So let's start moving furniture. So they did it. My grandpa took over. My dad and his 5 brothers and sister at the time, all were in the business, and kind of trickled down to my dad and like 3 brothers, and we made a deal with them in the mid 2000s to buy him out so that I could take it over. And now I guess I'm in the middle of buying Dad out or paying him to be in Florida.
Well, it's a nice lifestyle to be able to have somebody that can run the business for the family, keep the family name going, and keep such an established business going in such a well-known industry.
Yeah, it's a grind for sure. I mean, it's like many small business owners. I have friends that are in different industries, and we have these conversations about the ups and downs, and it one day you feel untouchable, you feel invincible, and the next day it's like, boy, I hope I'll be in business next week. It's just a tough time. The last couple of years obviously have been challenging, but it's when it's good, it's good. We don't have jobs go badly. We try so hard and we stand behind the work, so we end up with a lot of happy people. That's rewarding on a daily basis. When I was on the moving truck growing up, I got to enjoy that feeling at the end of the day. The job went well. Maybe got a tip. Nothing was broke. Families in the new home, everybody's excited, and that was a feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day. Now I get that a few times a day from the guys that are out in the field, but really there's 100 other things to do too. So, so part of me gets that feeling. Part of me is like, I got all these other things to do, so you don't get to relax for sure.
Well, you mentioned a key word there for us, and that's furniture. And so we do want to give a shout out to one of our biggest. We've got two big sponsors: USA Mortgage, as you can see on the screen behind us right there. And I'll do a wide shot for that so you can see everybody going on there. There it is. And we love the guys at USA Mortgage, the Flowers team, Steve Flowers, and then I've got my good buddy Brooke Dubin, who's been in the studio. Both Steve and Emily, his wife, have been in the studio here, and then Carroll House Furniture. And Brooke's been on with us since the beginning. And it's just great to have such a well-known name, putting their stamp on our show and helping us get this show done. So shout out to those guys. Do you move a fair amount of Carroll House furniture? I'm sure.
I imagine. Yeah, I think everybody in town's got some Carroll House furniture. Yeah, that's a household name, definitely.
And so we give a shout out to them. What you said there kind of struck me a little bit. What is the seasonality of what you do? I mean, is there times of the year where it's like it's just going to be slow? And the other times this is where it all kicks in. How does the season kind of go for a movie company?
So the moving industry typically is busiest between let's say May and September. So people want to move when the kids are out of school. They want to get settled, get unpacked, get back to a routine before the kids go to school. So that's probably the busiest season for sure. It starts ramping up in April, May. We're a small company. We're an agent for Beacon's Van Lines, which is one of the big van lines in our industry. We are a small company, though, a small agent for them, so we stay pretty busy. It's easier to stay busy when you are not trying to keep 100 people, rolling. We like to have about 20 guys out in the field every day. We've got a bunch of warehouse space, so we've got guys at the warehouses and then a killer team in the office that keeps the communication going and keeps the work flowing.
Well, I wanted to bring up your website there. I was poking around behind the scenes there while we were chatting, but take a look here on the wall, everybody. We do have the McGuire moving.com website. That's MCGUIRE moving.com. And great looking website here. Lots of great information. And tell us a couple of the highlights here. We picked out a couple things in our pregame prep. But you do local moving, long distance moving, international moving, packing professional, storage service, and commercial moving. A storage service is kind of an ancillary thing. Like people just say, I have too much stuff, can't really, we're going to move it, but we're going to move it into your storage.
Yeah.
And people can do that too. Is that true?
Yeah, it's half our business probably is moving stuff that people don't really need and they should store instead. We've got about 250,000 feet of warehouse space. It's not all the big tilt-up space that you see out in like Earth City and stuff. We've got 54,000 feet underground in South County. It's climate and temperature controlled. We've got another building near Loughborough in 55 that's military approved. The military's the biggest customer in our industry, biggest single customer. Yeah, more people moved globally in a year are military people than any other group. So it's kind of interesting. So we bought a building to get approved for military storage. So most of those people are at Scott Air Force Base, Fort Leonard Wood. Some of them work at the mapping facility. Some of them are in the federal building downtown, different branches. Civilian stuff too on military contracts, but we do a fair amount of military moving. Right now, international is kind of hot. We got 2 jobs going to Australia. We have a job on its way to Mexico right now. Pretty cool, Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah. So my guys asked if they could go deliver that shipment.
Stay down there for an extra couple days, right?
Yeah. We have a guy working now. One of my drivers has hit all 48 states, so we do get all over the country. He's hit all 48 in our truck. It's pretty cool. But but our bread and butter is truly local moving. That's mostly what we have made our name with, for sure. We've only been into these other things for about 15 years. Okay. But local moving is our bread and butter.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, as a company that's getting it done, most of the stuff you're going to do is going to be in the local area. That's where most people spend like 80% of their time within 5 miles of their house, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
The storage thing. Let me expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about storage.
I
I've got
forgot the question. So the storage stuff. You know, a lot of people. You know, sometimes you luck out and you're buying one house, selling another. The closings overlap. A lot of people don't have the luxury of that situation. They need to be somewhere for, you know, a day or two or a month or two while they build, or, you know, or years sometimes even with extra stuff. We have folks that swap out things seasonally, you know, storage of Christmas things. So we've been doing storage for a long time. Picture of the warehouse there. We put the furniture in those big wooden storage vaults, and we stack those up in the warehouse to take up less floor space, you know, put things on racks. And we got into the portable storage thing a couple years ago during COVID. We got into the portable storage thing. We bought a local outfit called the Mobile Attic, and we expanded into portable storage by way of these 8 by 8 by 16 foot portable containers. It's mostly what we have. We have a few other sizes, but mostly that 8 by 8 by 16. You know, the company Pods kind of started this phase, this fad, in I'm guessing early 2000s, maybe late 90s. It's been a while, but it really took off. And this company, the Mobile Attic, was an attempt to compete with them on a franchise level, and it sort of fell apart. So the guys that were in it just, you know, we sort of share that name. I don't pay franchise fees or anything, so I get to run my own iteration of that company. But it ties in perfectly with what we do. You know, we have this reputation as a sort of a high-end local mover. You know, we very high quality. This exposes us to people that maybe don't want to spend all that money on the top-notch Cadillac offering in the business. You know, so more do-it-yourselfers. We have people using these for decluttering. We have people filling them up with Christmas stuff, so we drop them off in, you know, December 1st, pick them up in January. People that go crazy with Christmas stuff. We have remodelers that are putting them on site and having the cabinets delivered to them and the flooring, putting the furniture for remodels out in these things, and you can do a whole move with one of these containers. Instead of renting a truck, we have people that, you know, they don't want to go rent a truck on their weekend. We drop it while they're at work. They load it up over the weekend. Monday morning, we move it to the new place or back to ours for storage. It's been a real cool addition to our offering. In fact, we bought another mover's portable division last week, Friday, and expanded our fleet. So now we're up to almost 300 of these containers. So we're kicking butt with that. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, and explain to people a little bit about the mobile pod. Essentially, you come there. They say you having to bring the stuff to the storage facility. You come right to them. They put it in. You pick it up and take it to the storage.
It's literally at your doorstep.
Saves them a lot of hassle with all the moving stuff.
Yeah. And even on our full service moves, we're finding ways to use these, you know, just to minimize on some warehouse handling. Sometimes they are a little more expensive to store than those vaults that we saw earlier on the screen. So it's not the right fit for everything. If a move's going to stay in storage for a while, then the traditional model that we've been doing it, you know, since 1935, can make more sense. But we're finding a lot of use for them. Yeah, the people love them. They don't have to mess with them. It's like a little truck inside. It stays dry. It's a roll-up door. We give you some straps to tie things off to the wall. You know, we rent all the stuff that goes with it, the moving blankets, and you can rent a dolly from us. You know, and if you need help with one piece or loading the whole thing, we can come do that too.
Okay, so mobile storage has really become the fad, and maybe something that's going to stick around for a while. As a matter of helping people to more easily get the stuff done. Because you remove a whole step there where they got to get the truck, put it in the truck, rent the truck, take it over back, drop it off the truck, bring it back, and then all just to get in the same place where they were trying to go to begin with. Right,
and especially when the dates don't line up. You know, a lot of people are lucky to own both homes at the same time, but that's getting more and more expensive. So this can be a way to move sort of incrementally. You know, get all the stuff out so you're not in a rush. The last one, you know, we have people using 3 or 4 or 5 of these to do a move. You know, do it yourself the whole way. And the last one holds the bed, the kitchen table. They get up, load the container up, go close on the new house. We ship it right to the house, and they start unloading them. It's a pretty slick way to do it. We've been wanting to get into it for several years. I just just couldn't make my mind up how I wanted to do it. There's a few different platforms, and then a friend of mine sent the listing for this, the business listing for this mobile attic outfit from a local broker, and we worked out a deal.
Very cool. Well, mobile has made things a little easier for everybody to just get what they need done. And so what I'm actually going to put up on the screen for you as I make a couple modifications. This is a good idea. Let's share with everybody. Here's the specifics, but it's called Mobile Attic, and your information there. Then you can give me your phone number. I'm going to put that on the screen for everybody here to see too. That's on the screen there. It says 353, but is it?
Yeah, that number's still going. So the Mobile Attic, we've got a website for it, kind of as a standalone.
Okay.
That number rings to the office directly, but our main number is 314-241-0600. Same people at both lines. We can. Anybody that answers the phone can give you information on the containers or the full service moving.
So that's 314-241-0600.
Yep.
And that gets everybody there.
And you'll get a person, so that's very important.
You get a human being to talk to.
You get a human being.
Okay.
Maybe not on Sunday night, but we'll call you back Monday morning.
All right. So there we're on the mobile run there, everybody. We made that title for everybody. So there's McGuireMoving.com/portable storage. But they go just McGuire Moving and find that. But the Mobile Attic is the division there for everybody who wants to call that same number, 314-241-0600.
Yeah. Yeah, we were excited to find this outfit because I was trying to rack my brain and think of a cute name for it, and it kind of came with a cute name, the Mobile Attic. So yeah, we're pretty jazzed about it.
Yeah, I asked a couple times to Don. I said, "What was it called?" Mobile Attic.
Yeah,
attic. And so attic is we all have attics, but we don't make them mobile at all.
Right. Now the youngsters, a lot of kids don't know what the attic is, right? Right. You and I remember going up in the attic to get stuff down, but so it's a cute name though. It's working out.
Very good. Well, something else I also often spend a little time on here, and we'll pull this up for you guys, is the reviews. And so you guys have done very well with regard to reviews also. So I'm going to jump into the reviews page on your your guys' website here. But take a look here at some of these reviews. We'll go right to the Google reviews. So 75 reviews with an average of 4.4. So you've done a good job there. Why is it you think you've attained such a high level with regard to reviews?
Man, we are endlessly committed to making these things right. If something doesn't go right on one of our moves, and they don't all go perfectly, we fix it. We've got a great refinish repair guy on staff, relationships with a couple others. Things go wrong, walls get dinged. We send somebody out to fix the wall. We scratch the dresser, we fix the dresser. We do a nice job. We deliver. Our estimates are, this is one thing that's really big for us, is responsible estimating. We don't have customers paying more than they were prepared to pay. And that is kind of unique in our industry. I grew up doing the job. I go out and sell. I have another guy, Matt, who sells too. He grew up doing the job. We both call it sell. We're not commissioned. But we go out and plan these things. We look at the move through the eyes of a guy that would show up in the morning with the truck, and consequently, we tend to be pretty spot on. We do have jobs that go over most of the time. That the information that we gathered at the estimate will show why. But it's interesting. Most of these local moves we do are time and materials. So a hard rain, St. Louis weather, a hard rain can add an hour to a move. We give a 2-hour range on most of our typical local move estimates. That gives us some wiggle room. If the weather goes bad and we have to slow down for a minute, spend some time inside wrapping before we can carry out to the truck again, we'll do that. We're still in good shape. The storage is by weight for the storage that goes into the warehouse proper, as opposed to the portable storage. We store everything in the warehouse by weight. That's how we quote long distance moves too. I grew up doing it, so we have a pretty good feel for what these shipments weigh. We get pretty close on the estimates, but nobody's ever upset if you do a nice job, come in within the estimate range, if not a little bit below, right. And deliver on your promises. So that's how you get these reviews. Just do a nice job, operate with integrity. We have great people. I'm blessed to have a bunch of really good people. We treat them well. We also dispatch responsibly. So a lot of the moving business is kind of notorious for having guys out till 10 o'clock at night or midnight. We just don't roll like that. My guys have an idea what time they're going to get off. They consequently are happy. They have real benefits. They have real vacation time, paid time off. 401k with match. Like, we do those things because good people want those things. If you have good people representing your brand, they get your reviews like that on the regular. I mean, it's like not rocket science, right?
Right.
But that's the key. I mean, you got to be committed to doing that, and sometimes you eat it a little bit because you can't get everyone perfect. But when it doesn't go right, you got to eat it and you got to make it right, and so we do that.
Well, that's a good method then. If you're going to continue to do what's best for the consumer and make sure you get good reviews. I'm going to read one of these reviews for everybody here real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Putting you on the spot just a little bit, but scroll down here. Craig says, professionalism, quality, responsiveness, value. From start to finish, our move went flawless. The process went smoother than expected. The actual costs were lower than they bid, and the team was incredibly professional and efficient. We highly recommend McGuire Moving and Storage. So
excellent.
For you.
I didn't even write that.
You didn't. That's right. Well, if you had a chance to write, I don't know if you could have wrote it much better, because that's a nice review. And so for everybody, there's 75 reviews out there like that, and an average of 4.4, which is really good. As I look down, I see your address, South Broadway. I worked for Anheuser-Busch for 10 years.
Nice.
And so if I recall, driving past at least one of your warehouses, or maybe your main office there, is that?
Yeah. My main office is at South Broadway and like River de Pear, down by River City Casino. So we're in the city limits, just barely, on the south side. And we've been there about 15 years, I guess. We were on the north side of the Dome for about 15 years prior to that. And but we sold that building right before like the '08 disaster. Got out of there. A lot of people still remember our name on that building because we had a giant billboard that has since been painted over. But we like it on the south side. I live in Waterloo. My wife's business is in Columbia. She's a realtor. We are pretty close to the office. It takes me 25 minutes to get to work, and I'm kind of out in the country. Really, it's we're not fighting the traffic too bad going any direction usually. So we like the south side.
Well, that's great. And like I said, the name is so well established. You've done a great job. What really fuels your passion about this? I mean, every day you wake up going, I get to move somebody's life and get everything into the next realm of where they're going in their lives. What's it like having that kind of responsibility, and what is it that fuels your passion?
Well, like I said, it's we make a lot of people happy, and that in and of itself is really rewarding. Done well, it's a beautiful thing. Moving is, people are freaking out when I show up at the door to look at a job. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Someone passed, divorce, the job is taking them somewhere they don't want to go. So we see like this crazy range of emotions, and we get to come in and like be heroes because they aren't expecting that. They're already scared of the process. Somebody they never met's about to drive off with, their all of their possessions, right, yeah, to the other side of the country, or even just to the other side of town. You
also have a few dynamic, very cool charities that you work with. I'm going to put those guys up on the screen. First, let's talk a little bit about. I'll go widescreen for us here, but. This is Wreaths Across America. Talk a little bit about your involvement with these guys and what you do to help make the world a little better place with them.
Yeah, Wreaths Across America is a cool organization that we found through some friends in the moving business. I'm an agent for a van line and an agent friend who had kind of mentored me in the transition generationally for my family business. Got us into this organization as a hauler of wreaths that come from Maine, where they're made, and these wreaths adorn the headstones of fallen veterans. So Jefferson Barracks, my grandpa's in Jefferson Barracks, my wife's grandpa, friends, family, everybody in St. Louis knows someone at Jefferson Barracks. We act as the Midwest cross dock, so we'll probably have 150,000 wreaths come through the warehouse off trucks. Hauled by companies who donated their services to get them here, and then someone else is going to pick them up and get them the rest of the way to the local volunteers who will place them on the headstone.
Tell everybody who that other charity was that you like, that you work with.
Yeah, Songs for Soldiers.
Yeah, there they are. We've got them up on the
Songs, the number 4 soldiers, STL.org. My friend Dustin Rao is a rock star, literal rock star. Veteran, combat veteran, saw some crazy stuff, and he came home and started this organization, putting on a concert in the Marketplace parking lot. It's now Schnucks in Columbia, Illinois, and Marketplace allowed him to put a concert on in the parking lot. So had some food vendors. Actually, it started out at Tiny's Bar in Columbia, Illinois, and I think it went to Marketplace then. I don't know how many years he's been going now with this concert, but they're almost up to $1 million spent on combat veterans. The concert raises a bunch of money. He does some other fun stuff through the year, movie nights, general donations at any time. But he's a very busy guy, and he plays in a band too. And he'll play a couple sets at the concert. Had some big name acts this year: Everclear, Tonic, Stir. Low Cash played on Saturday night. Alexandra Kay, local singer, blew the roof off the house. Really cool. Dazed and Confused, STL. Bunch of local acts that people know, and usually big nationwide acts that people grew up listening to. It's a heck of a time. Again, festival style. Friday night, big deal, and then Saturday, starting midday, going all the way into the evening. Everybody brings lawn chairs.
As a leader in the community, somebody who's doing good work for your business, doing this since 1935, it's my honor to make you a community leader wearing the Your Little Castle Cardinal Cowboy belt there. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on camera.
I think you're supposed to put it over.
Yeah, you put it on your shoulder. There you go. That's how you do it. But Josh, we want to give you a shout out there because not everybody gets to wear the belt, but you've done good work in our community. So we give you the honor there of that's the Cardinal Cowboy Community Leader Championship belt. So you are a champion in the community, and we appreciate what you guys do over there at McGuire Moving.
Thank you.
And keep it up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's awesome. And we gave a little extra time. If you guys watch the full interview is going to be on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook. But we went over here. We're about 37, almost 38 minutes in here. So this is going to get cut down for ABC down to 28 minutes, 30 seconds. And with that, that's what we'll show you here. But we want you to watch the whole interview. So check that out. Share this, like this, and we're going to give you some clips, Josh, as you can put this out to your fans so they can see little highlights from this reel and some great stuff that you do. Such an awesome organization, Mobile Attic and McGuire Moving, doing such a great thing to help our community, and really just keep that up because that's what we need. This is how you keep the wheels turning.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
And we want to see more of that in what we do in our little community. All right, everybody, stay tuned. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.